Hi, welcome to another Buzzin Chat Show here on Buzzin Pattaya. And today I want to say thank you to everybody that's been sending in their questions. There's some brilliant questions. I'm sorry I can't answer all of them, but I've got a great selection today to run through with you. But before we do that, firstly, I want to say thank you so much to everybody that has been subscribing to our channel. Would you believe we're over 28,000 people now subscribed to the Buzzin Pattaya YouTube channel. Honestly, I'm just lost for words. I know that's a first, but I am lost for words. I don't know what to say other than a genuine, heartfelt thank you to everyone that supports this channel. It really has been an incredible journey. Guys, those of you that are members on our YouTube channel that are doing a monthly subscription, guys, a lot of you still have yet to send in your digital photo so I can send you back your member's ID card. So if you are a paying member and you've taken out one of the 3 packages available, guys, please send me your digital picture along with your YouTube username. I have to marry the 2 up, and I in turn can send you back your digital ID card. So please, guys, if you haven't done that already, please send that to me. All right, so today's questions. Do the managers sleep with the staff, i.e. the girls? The question number 2, have I ever made that same mistake as a photographer? Do the girls get tested for STDs, etc., and is there a way of knowing? Can you drink the water here? First 3 questions are all sort of like similar, and then can you drink the water? Anyway, can you drink the water here? And the last question, which is the one I think is the best question for me personally and for our channel, is why is Discord so different to everything else and why should I join it? All right, so first question, do the managers in these bars sleep with the girls? And it's I suppose, you know, I can't blame you guys for thinking that this happens. I'm going to tread very carefully how I answer this because it is a difficult situation, difficult subject to answer, but I'm going to answer it as honestly as I can because that's me. You know what to expect. So, do they sleep with the girls? I would just say to you this, that, you know, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I am going to tell you this, and hopefully you will kind of like maybe agree with me or possibly disagree. But when you've been here a while, it gets a little bit boring. And what I mean by that is that when you're surrounded by these girls day in, day out, week in, week out, it just becomes normal. And I know you're thinking, is he off his rocker? He's got to be having a giraffe for me. Like, how can it possibly be normal? But don't forget, I was like you guys when I very first came here. I'm like, oh my God, look. Oh, wow, unbelievable. I wish I could do this job. Oh, it's just a job made in heaven. But is it? Now, in answer to the question, all I will say is this, that in the early stages of people's managerial careers, especially the younger guys, it is a lot easier for them to fall into temptation than it is the guys that have been here a long time and have been around the block and know the score. Yes, I do know 3 or 4 guys that do, let's say, get rather too close to the girls than they should do. But let me tell you this, and this leads into my question. When you start dipping your wick in the ink pot, you're going to be very, very careful because it can come back and it literally can cost you your job and it can bite you hard on the arse. For the simple reason being that the minute you tread that line, you then put yourself in the firing line for A, the girl, B, the rest of the girls because they ain't going to be happy about it, and C, whoever your boss is. So, yes, I do know 3 or 4 guys I know that have. I'm not saying they still do. I'm just saying I know that they have. And let's not finger point on these guys as in like it's their fault. A lot of the time, some of the girls will come on to you. I get it in the photography world. Do I need to say it? I get it in the photography world, and these guys are with them day in, day out, so they get it as well. Some of the girls can play up, and that play up can be very easily misinterpreted as a come on, or it could be a come on. So all I will say is this. Generally speaking, the younger guys are the more vulnerable. The older the guys, the more experienced, the longer you've lived here, the kind of gloss sort of like the gloss comes off and the shine comes off, and it's more a case of, do you know what, it's just not worth the aggro, because the minute you start doing that kind of situation, you put yourself in a firing line. And if you're not the boss, then you could also lose your job. And also, you know, these girls, they talk. You know, they all talk. Even if they don't work in the same bar, they all talk with each other, and they'll be saying, oh, you know, such and such does this. It's really, really not a good idea if you are to do that and you are a manager or an owner of a club, in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right, I'm just saying that's how it is. So to the answer to the question, do the managers sleep with the girls? I would say 95% no. The 5% that are yeses will be those that have either just found their feet in the bar industry, or they might be younger and feeling a little bit, look at me, I'm King Dingaling and all that sort of stuff. But trust me, it does come back to bite you hard on the arse. As I'm going to tell you now. Have I, as a photographer here, ever made the same mistake? Yes. And it was in my very early stages. I've been doing the photography here about a year. And I won't name the bar, but I was doing photography in LK Metro. I was doing my usual monthly photo shoot with all the girls. One of the girls in particular took a shine to me, as I did with her. When we were doing the photography, she was very flirty, very full on, and very, let's just say, forthcoming in her poses. And I made a stupid mistake of saying to her, listen, when I finish work and you finish work, do you want to go out and have a few beers? Which we did, and then, you know, the rest, you know what to make of that. All well and good, so I thought. However, the next month when I went back to do the photos in said A-Go-Go bar in LK Metro, I took my normal photos with every girl, including the girl that I'd had the time with. And when I'd finished, I went up to her because I thought, oh, well, you know, let's carry on where we left off kind of thing. I'm like, what's up with you? Don't talk to me. I'm like, what's the matter with you? Why are you being like that? You take more picture of her than you take of me. Oh, shut up, for goodness sake. It's my job, for God's sake. You're being stupid now. No. And that's what it was like. Oh, well, whatever. Just get on with yourself. I can't be bothered with this. And I left. The next month I went back. I'm like, sweetheart, we've got to do the pictures. This is to not the girl that I spent time with. I'm like talking to the other girls now. Right, sweetheart, come on, we're going to do our photos. Oh, I cannot. What do you mean you cannot? No, I not want to do. What do you mean you don't want to do? We have to do our photos. That's why I've come here. You know that. We've been doing photos together for years. Well, for a year. Come on, we're going to do this. Anyway, at least 40% of the girls wouldn't have their photos taken with me. And I'm like, what's going on? So I went to see the bar manager and I said, look, mate, I'm really sorry. I said, I don't know what's going on here. I said, but like a lot of the girls give me a bit of a hard time, mate. Yeah, he said, it does seem that way. He said, oh, maybe they're just being in one of their days. He said, all right. He said, did you get enough? I said, I've got enough for what we need, but I didn't get the full range like I normally do. He said, oh, well, you know, next month. Now, third month I went, oh my Lord, I walked into a whole world of hellfire. So the girl that I'd spent some time with was like really like raging. The other half of the girls weren't talking to me. They weren't having their photos done. It was just a nightmare. And I walked up to him. I said, boss, I said, listen, we've got a bit of a situation. He said, I know, mate. He said, I know. He said, I'm in a bit of a situation myself. I said, well, what's up? Well, he said, you know that you've spent time and you've slept with this girl. I'm like, yeah. I said, I'll tell you what, let me save you the problem. I said, I know what you're going to say. He said, what's that? I said, she's told all the other girls not to have their photo taken with me because if they do, I want to have another go with one of them. He said, well, yeah, kind of. I said, okay, all right. I said, lesson learned. My stupidity, my naivety. I said, I'm sorry. I said, listen, I will step away. It's not a problem. And he was really apologetic. He said, look, mate, I'm really, really sorry. He said, but it's causing me a lot of grief, which I now understand. So the moral of the story there is, you know, now, I mean, if you see me, if ever you see me, guys, you know, I know when you do get to come over here, I'm sure there will be times when you'll be in a go-go bar and you'll see me doing my work. You watch. I touch the girls just with these two fingers. I move them this way, up, head there, move you there, arm up. I don't, none of that stuff, none of that rubbish. Not that I ever did that in the first place, but what I'm saying is I keep myself very distant. Now, speaking a good level of Thai, I can communicate them without even having to touch them. So it's very, very easy for me to get them in the poses that I want. But you'll see I'm like super distant. And the reason being is, well, obviously I've got my missus, so I don't do that now anyway. But my point being is, if I was single, I still would keep my distance because it really is a minefield of problems. So yeah, it has happened to me. I was stupid, I was naive, I took advantage of a situation and it came back firmly to bite me hard on the arse because I lost that job. There you go. Next question is, are the girls tested for STDs? Well, this is Thailand, okay, and I'm going to answer it like this. It's pretty difficult to find a piece of paper or a driving license or whatever you need. It's pretty difficult to find one that you can't find if you need that particular piece of paper. In other words, it's very easy to get even if you don't have what you need in order to get that piece of paper. Some bars will do the tests, some don't. And I think it's unfair to put the onus on the bar. I think you guys should take care of your own precautions, as in bag up. Because if you don't bag up, guys, there is all manner of things that can be thrown back at you. And I'm sorry if this is not what you want to hear, but this is the truth, guys. You know, if you're going to come over here and you're going to give it king dingaling and you're going to be bouncing around mattress to mattress to mattress and you're not going to bag up, well, come on, guys, let's be honest. You are asking for it. Let's be straight. And I know some of you are saying, yeah, but I don't like wearing them because it's not the same and all the rest. I get all of that. I really, really do. But you're going to run the gauntlet. And if you get caught, trust me, you're going to get caught. And if you don't get caught, okay. But it doesn't mean to say you haven't got caught, but you just didn't realise. Maybe it's going to come and bite you later on. You don't know. So in fairness, I wouldn't go to a bar and say, oh, do you test the girls? And then think that you can bareback. Because that's really, you know, even if the bars do, let's just say they do, okay? Well, you don't know what the girl does after work. She might finish work, nip down the local nightclub, go off, have a bit of fun, maybe gets drunk, gets a bit careless, or maybe the customer doesn't want to bag up and he's asking if he gives her a little bit more, can they do the barebacking situation and all the rest of it. You know, how can the club be responsible for that? So I think really the honest answer is take the problem away from the situation by you dealing with the answer, and that is bag up, lads. Just bag up. What I would also say while we're on this subject is be very careful buying these off of the street vendors, because they're generally speaking maybe old or out of date, and the last thing you want is a slip and rip when you're giving it full bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be doing that, because then you're in a world of trouble. And you know, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. But I would say, generally speaking, maybe you're looking at like a 50-50 ratio of those that get tested and those that don't. But at the end of the day, guys, you take the onus away, you make sure you protect yourself, and the rest of it doesn't really matter. Okay, next one. Can you drink the water here? Well, that's a good question. And when you think about it, think, well, that's an obvious question. Well, just bear with me because of these reasons. So number one, drinking water, buy your water from the 7-Elevens and make sure that you've got bottled water. However, if you shower, well, that water comes from the mains. And now I know some people that when they shower, they brush their teeth at the same time. And they use the water from the shower while they're brushing their teeth. Well, trust me, guys, you know, that water is not purified. It's coming from the mains, and, you know, you might get caught. I'm not saying you will, I'm just saying you might. So if you are one of these people who likes to brush his teeth whilst you're having the shower and you're ingesting that water, well, you could, I'm not saying you will, but you could find yourself with a few problems, maybe a dicky tummy or whatever. When you go into the Thai stalls. Now, a lot of the Thai stalls will provide you with a bucket, an ice bucket full of water. I would say most of those places will give you distilled water, like purified water out of a bottle. However, it's full of ice cubes. And a lot of those ice cubes are not made with purified water. I'm not saying all of them, some are, yes, it goes without saying, the big companies. But these guys that fire around on their little trucks selling ice, you know, just think about it. You're putting yourself in the possibility of maybe ingesting an ice cube that's not from from bottled water. It might be just tap water. So be very careful, and particularly if you brush your teeth whilst you're having a shower, you probably never even give it a second thought. But you are using the water that's come directly from the mains. I have no issue with it. I brush my teeth in the shower. That's just my ingestion. I think I eat so much hot, spicy food that whatever goes in my body probably dies instantly anyway. When you have a cup of tea, obviously you're boiling the water, so use tap water. Don't worry about buying and boiling up expensive water. You don't need to. You're going to boil the water anyway. You're going to kill anything that's in it. So just, I've used tap water for my kettle for 10 years. I've never once had an issue. So I would say making cups of tea, no dramas. If you're going to make food, so if you're going to boil some, I don't know, like some noodles or whatever, again, use the tap water. It's fine. It's not an issue. There's no problem with it, in my experience. Drinking wise, I only drink the tap water. I only drink the bottled water here. When I go home to the villages, sometimes I am in a situation where I will drink the water from the bucket, and I don't really want to know where it's come from. Touch wood, I haven't had a problem, but that's not to say you guys won't. So be very careful, guys. In general, bottled water, but if you're going to boil it, any water you want, doesn't really matter. Unless it's yellow water, don't do that. Last question, can I explain Discord in more details? Why is it so good? All right. So, Discord. Now, you've seen me bang on and on and on about it and say to you, come and join it, come and join it. Right now, as I make this video, we've got over 3,000 people in the group. And I'm just going to tell you why I think it's going to be worth you joining and what you're going to get from it. And I'll tell you this. So, first and foremost, it's totally free and always will be. There's no catches. You're not going to get expected to pay any subscription or any of that rubbish. It's totally free and always will be. Number two, I'm a member of about 7 or 8 different forums here in the Pattaya and the Thailand areas. Some are up in the villages and some are here in Pattaya. The one thing I don't like about these forums, I'm being honest, I'm not criticising the forums, I'm just saying what I don't like personally is, you have to email or like an email, write your message and send it, and then you sit there and wait and nobody replies, and then you just go off that particular thread, and then you come back a day late and there might be 10 replies, you've got to scroll through them all. That's not my cup of tea. So what I've done is I've used Discord, and Discord is like an online instant forum. So in other words, if you're online and I'm in, say, like the lads' banter room, and I write, I'm going to pop down to the windmill tonight, anybody coming? And you're there, oh yeah, I'll be there tonight, I'll meet you, okay, brilliant. All of a sudden we're talking, we're conversing, we're networking. Why is Discord so good? Well, here's what I'm doing. So I've been very, very busy connecting and contacting so many businesses in the area. We are currently building a very up-to-date, a very good business directory, and what that is, that's for our website. And basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure that all the businesses that come onto my website are actively active. They're not just ones that closed 3 years ago and all that kind of malarkey. Once they join the website, they will have access to the relevant category in Discord. So let me hear me out. So let's just say I've gone and signed up a bunch of Indian restaurants for argument's sake. Well, when you come on the Discord, you can go onto restaurants, Indian, and you can look at what special offers they're giving you. You can even communicate with them. You can ask them special information, etc., etc. Now, you might say to yourself, well, that's all right, I'll just go on Facebook for that. But that's not how Facebook works. And let me tell you this, just in case you weren't aware. Think about how many groups and how many pages that you've joined since you've become a member of Facebook. Now, ask yourself this question. Do you see comments and posts from every single one of those pages and groups? Well, I'll tell you the answer for you. No. And I'll tell you why. The algorithm in Facebook works on the premise that if it shows you 3 pictures, so let's just say you're a member of Buzzin Pattaya's Facebook page. If you aren't, why not? Anyway, that's my point. But if you are, let's just say you are. And let's say I put 3 posts out, and those 3 posts that you see, so it appears on your timeline, and don't forget the algorithms, the robots know what's being shown, and you don't either like, share, or comment, the algorithm says, oh, he didn't like that picture. Well, we'll show him another one. The second one comes on. Oh, didn't like that one either. Okay, well, let's try him one more time. And they send a 3rd picture. If you don't like, share, or interact and comment on that picture, they will stop sending you the pictures from my Buzzin Pattaya Facebook page. Why? Because they've already assumed, well, he doesn't interact, so therefore he probably doesn't care, so let's stop showing him those. And that's how it works. Now, you may or not know about that, but that's how it works. So every group you join, if you don't interact, you will eventually stop seeing those pages' posts. That's how it works, and the same with the groups. So what Discord does is very, very different. So I'm going to be doing pages where they can pop their special offers in. So I'm going to say to the bars and the restaurants and the businesses, not just the food, but hotels, dental practices, solicitors, lawyers, things that I think you may need. I'm going to put a section in the Discord group where basically they can put all of their special offers and you can scroll through them all at your own leisure. So it doesn't matter if you have or haven't interacted on Discord. It's irrelevant, because when you do finally come onto the channel, you will see those special offers there and they will be up to date. Every single day they will be up to date. So that again is a bonus as far as I'm concerned in terms of how Discord can function and what we can bring to you in order to make your stay, your holiday here, far more enjoyable. Lastly, it's the categories. You know, we're able to put specific categories together where there's somewhere you can pretty much share what you want and you will see pretty much what you want. There are areas where it's more sensible and it's more specific. We've got areas about Bangkok, about Phuket. So for instance, let's just say I'm here and I'm traveling down to Phuket and you might be doing the journey in a month's time. Well, I'm going to go down, I'm going to put onto our Discord, hey guys, I'm down in Phuket, I'm staying at such and such a place, it's really cool, I highly recommend it. Well, how else would you get that information? If you Google it, you might see my review. If you go onto Facebook, chances are you're not going to see it. So how else are you going to see it? But as a community, this is the strength of what Buzzin Pattaya is all about. As a community, we all tell each other, we communicate, we network, we share. We are information journals that just like share all this information for you. So that's why I think Discord is just going to be fantastic. It really is. Once I've got it nailed down, I'm very, very close now. It's taken about 6 months to sort this out. Once it's all nailed down, it's going to be fantastic. And when things reopen, guys, it's going to be the go-to place, in my opinion. And to hell with the fact it's to do with me and Buzzin. It's not about that. I couldn't care less about the Buzzin brand aspect of it. I'm talking about how networking you can do and how much information you can glean from this, and it's totally free of charge. There you go, guys. That's today's Buzzin Chat Show. Thank you very much for listening. So in answer very quickly, do managers sleep with the staff? Maybe a small percentage, and if they do, they soon learn the hard way. That's terrible, isn't it? Hard way, sleeping. Oh, forget that. Have I ever made the same mistake? Oh man, you better life. I sure have, yep. And I paid the price desperately, and I won't do that again, and nor have I. Do girls get tested for STDs? Guys, take the onus away from the girls and you take care of yourself. Don't put yourself in the firing line. Can you drink the water here? I would suggest no, stick to bottled water, but be careful if you're brushing your teeth in the shower because you might get caught there, and just be a little bit wary about where the ice cubes are coming from if you go to some of these Thai side stalls, all I'm saying. And Discord, you've just heard me tell you about it. Guys, have a look. What's the worst it's going to do? Take 2 minutes of your time to register. You might go on there, you might start networking, meeting new friends, etc, etc. Could be one of the best things you've joined. All right, guys, that's it for me today. If you've got a question, please drop me an email, 247pattaya@gmail.com, and I promise you I'll put it into our list of emails, our list of questions for me to answer, and I will cover them. Guys, as I say before, if you haven't already, join our members area. There's a link down below, and take out any of the packages. Doesn't matter what it is, but if you join our members area on YouTube, there's a lot more benefits coming your way, and there's also a sneaky little one in the Discord group where I share videos and photos. Enough said. All right, guys, that's it for me. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. And wherever you are in the world, guys, please stay safe.